Hello, everybody. I am Goomba Trooper 97, or sorry about that. Got a bit of a cough. I'm sort of getting over it. But I'm making this video today, basically talking about my Dungeons and Dragons character, Aryan Rosso, or Rosso, whichever one you want to pronounce it. Um, but I'm making this video because, as many of you might know or may not know, Tom Rhodes over on RnD Fantasy on YouTube and on Twitter drew my character for me, and I'm still like, I'm literally like fanboying over this character right now and his art and everything. So I'm gonna leave all of his stuff in the description below. I mean, seriously, this dude's awesome. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, if you like art, if you like fantasy, getting your own character drawn, I mean, yeah, go and follow that guy, and he gives out a weekly lottery for free that you can actually get all your characters drawn. Well, one character drawn, and I actually won by some random thing. I don't know how, but I'm so glad I won because this character right here, Aryan. Oh man, in Tom's 1 hour long video, he talked about how he was drawing Aryan on my description of him and everything. And he didn't talk about his backstory or his background. And that was partly my fault because I forgot to tell him that his backstory was at the very bottom of the character sheet that I gave him. And so R&D Fantasy or Tom, he looked at the spells and powers list and thought that that was the end, and I can't blame him. The character sheet I'm using is it's a little weird, but it gets the job done. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is basically going to be the video about him. Sorry, about me talking about Aryan, about how he came to be, his whole entire character, and then getting into his little bit of his personality, and then also his backstory and how that fits into the whole entire thing in my campaign. So before I get into that, I have to give you guys some background on this character and then also on my own homebrew D&D world. So my very first real, I guess my fingers are in quotations right now, real uh, D&D experience with my first real campaign group. Um, well, how do I put this? We got together, me and a couple other people, like 3 different times. Like we started a campaign, we stopped, we started a new one with the same basic group of people. We stopped that, and then we got into a third one. And none of those characters really got developed enough. And Arian was the last character that I created for that group. And I just completely like fell in love with this guy because the DM at the time was saying, okay, so make your character do what you want, and a couple other people were like, hey, can we roll half characters, like half dragons or something? And the DM was like, yeah, you go ahead if you want, and if you make the roll, you get it. If you don't, you'll get like a deformity or something. So, me being the dragon loving, reptilian, like, loving person I am, because they're really cool with all the scales and all the breathing fire and everything, I really wanted a half dragon character. And that's pretty much where Aryan started. His backstory and everything was going to be a half dragon, and that sort of got tanked right at the beginning because I failed the roll pretty much. And I couldn't get a half dragon. But the DM was like, I can't think of anything to penalize you with. You're just a human. And I came back, like, no, wait. I want to be half something. So, hey, how about half lizard or half lizard folk? Because I scrolled through the monster manual and I found a half lizard folk, and I found a lizard folk. Excuse me. I found lizard folk in the monster manual of 3.5. I was like, I want to be half lizard folk. And my DM's like, sure, just your character gets dark vision and you can hold your breath for a super long time. That's it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So that was pretty much how the character came to be. And now I'm going to get into my own world, campaign world, because as I stated, all the campaigns I've been part of have been cut short right at the beginning. So I wanted to be like, okay, you know what? Forget this. I'm going to DM my own campaign. I'm going to run my own campaign. And that's pretty much what like got me to revitalize all these characters that I've like had in the back of my mind, but I can't develop because my group keeps on like disbanding over and over and over again. So I decided to create my own world, and the world is called Gaia. Sorry for being very, very unoriginal, but the world of Gaia, and pretty much the world of Gaia is basically think of it as a Pangea of sorts, just a big giant continent with islands and another landmass on the bottom. It's basically like a Pangea-esque shape. Not really, but imagine a Pangea, and you pretty much got Gaia. And there's two things I need to, two or three things I believe that I need to talk to you about before I even get into Aryan. That's two of the deities in my own pantheon. Yes, I created my own pantheon, a very small pantheon, but I was still proud of that. And let's see. Uh, where is it? There we go. Okay, so one of the deities you need to know for Aryan is the warrior god, Ulus, Ulus, if you guys wanted to know. But yeah, basically he is the equivalent to, I believe it's Cord in 3.5 and Dungeons and Dragons. Cord, the chaotic good fighter god. I pretty much just renamed him. And then the other one is the goddess of the home, and she is called Eme, Emae, if you wanted to know that. But yeah, basically, goddess of the home, almost like the halfling and almost like the dwarven sort of god in D&D. But yeah, those are the two that you need to know. And the other thing I need to talk about is the city where he's from. So in Gaia, there's different sections of like basically controlled areas of land. One area predominantly human, one area predominantly halfling, one area predominantly gnome, one area predominantly elf and dwarf, and then there's a section in the middle where well, it's pretty much the it's called the wilds, and the wilds pretty much have what you would expect, being that name. But so yeah, so Aryan is from the human land, and that land is called Grey Rock. The whole entire pretty much area is generally labeled as Grey Rock, and the capital, Castle Grey Rock, obviously. But he's not from there. He's from a city near Castle Grey Rock called Silverwell. And Silverwell is arguably the most wealthy city in the entire human realm and possibly the entire world. It's like it's the center of commerce, it's the center of trade, and it is like right next to the capital. It's also, I believe it's near the sea on my map that I made. Um, but yeah, all like the entrepreneurs, everything is there. But the city is also very, very well known for being corruptible itself and very not the best to live in if you're not in the high society. So yeah. And one last thing. So there was three things. One last thing is about Aryan's dad. He is actually the most wealthiest. No, wow, English. He is the wealthiest and most influential person in Silverwell, uh, even beyond the mayor of Silverwell. He is the most influential and wealthiest person there. So, uh, without anything else, I'll get into Aryan's backstory, and then after that, I guess I'll I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll talk about how much I love R&D Fantasy more, but who knows? I'll just see what I have time for because I have to get to school. At the time I'm recording this, I have to get to school a little later. So, okay. So anyway, here it goes. Aryan Rosso, the story of his past. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I, sorry, I know the tension. Uh, yeah. So just in case you didn't quite get that, Aryan's dad is the human, and his mother is a lizard folk. Just so you know, just so it wouldn't be a surprise that as I said that in his story. And before I forget, one last thing. His backstory is a little depressing, a little heavy at times, but I'll try not to get too depressed on you. And even Tom said that in his YouTube comment back to me, just saying, "Oh man, that was a little dark at times there," and I was like, "Yeah, it is," but still makes me laugh that he that Tom said that. But thank you again, Tom, for reading the backstory on Aryan. So now now it's now I'm really going on to his backstory now. So Aryan Rosso, story of his past. Aryan was born the illegitimate son of a well-respected man in the city and of a lizard folk mistress. The people looked down upon both Aryan and his mother for tricking that man into giving the mistress a son. This, however, was a complete lie in the fact that Aryan's father actually forced his mother to have children with him. When Aryan was born, he did not know that he was the son of the most influential man in the city. He didn't know this because his mother was forced to leave the confines of his father's house in fear that this would get him reprimanded or get him in trouble with the law or ruin his reputation as the most respectable man in Silverwell. But, however, Aryan did not know that he was the son of this man, for his mother kept it from him for many, many years. As a child, Aryan even wanted to impress his father, though he didn't know it was his father, only because his mother at the time, told him to respect everyone in power, well, especially that man, for undisclosed reasons at the time. As the years went on, Aryan's mother, the lizard folk mistress, was forced to leave Silverwell under the order of his father, of Aryan's father. This was because Aryan's father wanted her dead, wanted Aryan dead, but couldn't do so within the law. So, using the law and using everything to his advantage, he ran Aryan's mother out of town. And he even planned to kill Aryan as well, but Aryan's mother worked out something that where she left, Aryan was able to stay and live in the city. And as Aryan's mother left, her final words to him were directed towards telling Aryan that his father was the man that he respected for so many years, was the most influential man in the city. Aryan learned of his true heritage as his mother was being forced out of the city. And upon learning of his true heritage, Aryan took on the family name of his father, Rosso, in hopes that it would please his father. He took much pride in that name. Aryan's father never considered him a real son. Excuse me. He never considered him a real son and constantly ordered his other legitimate son to teach Aryan a lesson in respect. Every day, since learning of his heritage, Aryan would go to his father's house, plead to make him his son, and he would do this every day since his mother had left and that his father was the only family he had left. Aryan wanted to be respected and wanted his mother to be respected, and he thought that this was the way to do so, to go to his father and plead and beg. He wanted to be influential, he wanted to be respected and liked, and he usually talked with other outsiders in the city, other people like himself, the poor, the ones on the streets, the orphans, people of mixed backgrounds. He conversed with them all. By doing so, he eventually befriended a halfling orphan by the name of Marvin Thornhill. He even learned halfling on the way. Every day, Aryan would go to his father's house, would be beaten, and every day he would leave his father's house to go back to the streets, to train, to get stronger, and to prove that he is deserving of the title of my son. Eventually, Aryan surpassed the others, surpassed his legitimate siblings, and beat them in front of his father, which Aryan thought would prove how deserving he was, that he was able to beat a legitimate son while he was not. This, however, only infuriated his father even more. But his father did not show it. Instead, his father devised a plan that would get rid of this pesky little brat once and for all. But this plan would take time and wouldn't involve simply stabbing him in the chest. His father acted as though he was impressed with this display of strength that Aryan showed, and sent Aryan out to do tasks and quests that would have been deemed as too risky for anyone to do. Aryan accepted all of these quests that he had, and proved time and time again that he was growing stronger with each mission from his father. He received 2 scars throughout the years, one on his collarbone and one across his forehead. During this time of questing and trying to prove himself, Aryan learned both of Ulus, the warrior god, and Eme, the goddess of the home, both from Marvin Thornhill. Although Aryan respects both, Aryan primarily follows Ulus due to the fact that Ulus's motto is to be strong, courageous, but kind, for protection and power and strength, much of what Aryan's mother told him to do when she left the city. Years later, when Aryan was about 20, his father gave him some money, told him to get whatever supplies he needed, whatever armor he liked, whatever weapons he wanted, anything that would help him. But then he turned to Aryan and said to them with him the most sincere sounding voice and the most deceiving mouth. He uttered this: Aryan, I am sending you away. No, not because you did anything wrong, but I wish to test you. If you come back with titles, honors, money, and power, then you and your mother will forever be a part of my family. Not seeing this blatant lie in front of him, Aryan was overjoyed and rushed off to purchase any equipment and prove that he was worthy to be called son. Soon after, Aryan caught word of the king of Grey Rock and what he was planning on doing with this new adventuring group about some disturbances that have been happening around the kingdom. Aryan thought that this was the perfect opportunity to prove to his father that he was worthy. He made the trip and soon came across the splendid Castle Greyrock and was escorted inside of the castle courtyard and awaited further instructions. And that is the current story of Aryan Rosso, or Rosso. And I have to say, I'm really glad I actually got to make this video, though it's getting a little long, about 20 minutes or so of just me talking and rambling on and on and on. But I'm really actually glad got to make this video and sort of give everybody if you guys want to know about Aryan's backstory at all. And just a little thing, I don't know if Tom actually caught this, but I actually named Aryan a very specific way, both his first name and his last name. Aryan, if you guys don't know, Aryan, or an Aryan, or Iranian, no, wait, that's not the right word. Oh gosh, pronunciation is leaving me today. But basically, Aryan, the way I came up with that name was because I wanted him to have a name that wasn't him. And okay, so the thing is, Aryan means something like best race or the best ever, like high, mighty, top of the line, the best. If you guys know, I'm not going to bring up the whole entire thing, but whole entire bad situation that happened during World War II, but pretty much the Aryan race. That's pretty much what I was thinking of, and how funny that is that he's named something the Aryan race, he's the best race, but he's he's a mix of a lizard folk and a human. So how could he be the best race? He's a hybrid. He's a freak, pretty much, compared like from what society in this world believes. Then he's pretty much a freak and an outcast. And I thought it was going to be really cool just to have Aryan as his name. And oh, sorry, I hit my mic there. Um, so yeah, that's his first name. And Rosso, I was looking up. I really wanted Aryan to have red hair and red eyes because red is one of my favorite colors, and it just looks really, really cool, I believe, in my opinion. And also red, if you don't know, promotes strength and, well, okay, as what Tom was talking about, like, color theory and all that, red is like strength, war, blood, things like that. So I was like, okay, and I wanted to be a fighter, so because fighters are easy to be. To be honest, I haven't played as a wizard or anything, but so yeah, Rosso, I came up with that name because it's a translation of red. I believe it's Italian. I believe it's Italian for red or Latin for red. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I don't have anything up right now that would tell me that. But anyways, that's pretty much why I came up with that name, Aryan, as the best race, but he's not. And Rosso just because he has red hair and it's red. So just to get into actually what he's wearing and everything, obviously the shield and the axe. Tom covered all of that and also covered the clothing. He did a great job. I mean, look at that. Just look at it. It's so good. Uh, But the one thing I want to talk about is the scales on him and the pendant around his neck. And the scales on him, if you can see, he has scales along his arms. You can see the best right here on the shield on the bottom of the screen, or if you want to look at his full body, they're on his arm, and you can barely see some of them on his neck near the collar of his I wouldn't say that part's armor, but okay, when the armor ends, the neck has some scales on it, and that is due to his lizard folk heritage, obviously, and I wanted to have it apparent, but not too apparent, that he was not entirely human. And oh my goodness, Tom, you did an amazing job. R&D Fantasy, oh my gosh, again, please, please, please check him out. He is amazing. He's so good. He's even got some new ones out too, Half Giant actually, and that looks really cool as well. But not as cool as mine. Okay. Okay, I'm biased. I'm a little biased if you can't tell to this character. But yeah, so that's the reason why he has scales on his arms, if you didn't already know. And the pendant, he actually got that pendant from his mother, from the time she was actually leaving Silverwell. She was getting forced out of the city, and during during the conversation that she had with Aryan, talking about how to be a good person, to to do good no matter what, to even break laws to do good, hence why he is chaotic good. Uh, and during all the time where she was talking about how to protect others, be a good person, be strong, to get strong for both of them. That's what she was talking about. She handed Aryan this dragon pendant, and sort of what Tom was talking about in his video about how Aryan would wear it with pride and showcase it for everybody. That is totally him right there. The way the pendant is on his chest, it's front and center. That is him right there. Like even though he even though the whole entire dragon thing isn't directly related to him, that pendant, because it was given to him by his mother, his family that was being taken away from him, it's right next to him. He is showcasing it for the world to see, and that is actually part of his personality. Is that he is basically he's a family man and a mama's boy. He is a literal mama's boy. He will do anything for his mom, and this dragon pendant really captures that because he wants his family to get back together. That is his main reason why he's going on this whole entire journey. And to be able to get his family back together and actually live together. That is his idea of a perfect world, to have his father, his mother, and him all together with his father's other kids, to actually be considered as a part of his family and actually a real family together. And man, it's just awesome the way that how Tom put that um, dragon pendant right there, and how good it looks, and just that would be like, that is the perfect representation of what a dragon pendant would be, because I was thinking like a little tiny little thing that just looked like a dragon, but no, this is like a big open, look at me, this is me type of deal. And going into his personality a little bit, just a little bit, because I need to get off pretty soon and get ready to go. But a little bit about Arian's personality. He is a family person. He loves his family and he will actually consider people part of his family if they exude fatherly capabilities, fatherly tendencies, or even motherly tendencies, to be frank. He will actually consider them part of his family and will do anything for them as well, considering them as a part of his family. Uh, Much like how he would do anything for his best halfling friend, Marvin. He would literally do anything for him. And it's oh goodness, I'm rambling off again. But okay, so back to his personality. One thing is, as Tom stated in his video, that Aryan is arrogant. He lies a lot, but he's chaotic good. And Tom was a little confused about that in his video, and this is part of the reason why I'm actually making this video is to try to explain that. But the reason why I made him an arrogant liar and sort of a overconfident, hey, look at me, I can do this sort of thing, is because of the way he was brought up. Because not by his mother, but by his father. When his mother left and he went to his father and tried to do everything that he could, every time he would get back and complete something or do something that would show his strength or something, excuse me, I got like the hiccups or something. So every time Aryan would do that and go back to his father would either laugh, like he would pity laugh him and be like, oh my goodness. So like something like that. Like he would just his father would completely disregard anything he's saying, just laugh at how stupid Aryan's being for actually thinking that he would be a part of his family ever again. Yeah, yeah, they're not gonna be part of his family again. Um, yep, that's what you get for having a um, lawful evil father there, Aryan. You're a good guy though. But yeah, so his father would laugh and would actually almost encourage this behavior because Aryan thought that whenever he laughed and whenever he did anything and that made his father smile, that was a good thing. So he started developing these grand stories of what he did. So he would, okay, let's say okay, this isn't like, I'm just saying, if he went out and if his father said, go out and kill this bear, because for whatever reason, Aaron would go out, kill the bear, and then come back and then completely say how there wasn't actually one bear. There were three bears, and he fought them off all at once, like killing each one by one with like no weapons, just like strangling them or something. I don't know, like punching them to death. And Richard, that's his name. That's his father's name, Richard. Whoops, didn't really want that to get out, but whatever. It's out now. So Richard, Arian's father, would laugh, would almost encourage this because he thought it was like, oh my goodness, this kid, he's gonna get himself killed. Yes, he's gonna get himself killed. Let's encourage this more. Let's send him out on more dangerous stuff. So that and through those years of basically reinforcing that behavior, Aryan sort of took on the personality of, hey, I can do this. I did all these things. Look at what I can do. All of that. Also, whenever he's out anywhere, he will lie and exaggerate his own accomplishments because he wants his father to know what he's doing. And he wants his father to respect him and actually love him as a child and as a son. And he thinks that if he goes over the top, maybe some of the truth will get to him and he'll actually see it for who he is. Like Aryan thinks that he will, by doing this quest, by going over the top and grandiose, that his father will actually accept him. And well, we can only see that when my campaign starts up, and that's not going to happen until this summer. But uh, anyways, thank you for watching. Well, actually, watching. There's nothing to watch except for Arian's beautiful face, beautifully drawn face by RnD Fantasy by Tom Rhodes. Plug. Um, but yes, thank you for watching. Anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble about him, ramble about Aryan for about 35 minutes. Oh my gosh, this is long. Um, anyways, thanks again. I'll the leave in the description. I will post Tom Rhodes's information to his YouTube channel and also to his Twitter. Go follow, go subscribe, all of that because he is amazing. He's an amazing artist. This is just one of his pieces that he made, and this happened to be for me. He has over 20 right now, almost 21, I believe. No, wait, 19, 20. Yeah, he's on his 21st as of this video. As of today, he is working on his 21st. So if you guys see this, so yeah, but he's gonna do way more, and a lot of different race days, a lot of different random days. Like I believe a monster race is coming up soon. Uh, but don't worry, all you humans, elves, all that can still go in and do your thing with him, with his Twitter. And yes, his Twitter is the way to get your lottery in, because it is a lottery system. I just happen to be lucky enough to get it. But anyway, enough of me blabbering. I have to go, and thank you for watching again. And I just want to say, I mean, if you if you liked this video, sure, give it a like. This actually gave me the idea of actually doing character backstories for all the main characters in my D&D campaign. And I don't know, maybe not, but I am planning on recording a D&D campaign, a full D&D campaign over the summer, because I'm going to be the DM. I am going to do the ones, I'm going to make sure that my that my players show up. But anyway, thanks again. If you want to like, subscribe, share this video, whatever, do what you want, and I'll catch you guys later. I mean, not much else to say. Go follow RnD Fantasy. Go follow Tom. He's amazing. Okay, gosh, okay, I'm cracking myself up. All right, anyways, all right, thanks again. Later.